Whether you first saw it as a kid, shared it with younger siblings, or rediscovered it as an adult, Monsters, Inc. remains one of those rare animated films that connects generations. This is the story of a world where monsters scare kids for a living. But the magic behind the movie is even more incredible than what's on screen. From fur that moves like real hair to voice recordings that defied studio norms, the making of Monsters, Inc. is full of surprises. So pop some popcorn and get ready. Here are 10 weird facts you didn't know about Monsters, Inc. that might just blow your mind. 1. Sully's fur consisted of millions of individual hairs. Pixar didn't just give James P. Sullivan a fuzzy blue coat. They engineered one of the most advanced digital creations of its time. Instead of relying on a single texture, the team built Sully's fur as 2.3 million individual hairs, each placed and styled to make his design look naturally layered and lifelike. What made it groundbreaking was how those millions of hairs were animated. Every strand was simulated separately, reacting to movement, gravity, and even tiny environmental shifts. This meant Sully's fur swayed, bounced, and rippled exactly like real animal hair, a level of detail that pushed animation technology into an entirely new era.
Okay, Sully, here we go. You ready? Follow me. Oh, it's over here. Oh, look over there.
That insane detail pushed the boundaries of what computer animation could do at the time, but it wasn't the only technical leap. 2. The studio created a new software just for Monsters, Inc. Pixar needed Sully's millions of individual hairs, along with clothes, doors, and even human hair to move naturally in every scene. To pull this off, the studio created a custom physics tool called FixT, which could automate tiny movements that would be impossible to animate by hand. With FixT, artists could simulate things like wind, gravity, swaying fabric, and the small shifts that happen when a character walks or turns. This allowed the fur and other elements to react realistically on their own, giving Monsters, Inc. its smooth, lifelike motion that set a new standard for animation. That tool helped bring Monstropolis to life, but the world itself wasn't just random chaos. 3. The world of Monstropolis was inspired by real-life factories. Pixar's design team didn't want the monster world to feel purely cartoony. They wanted it to look functional, industrial, and worn in. To get it right, they toured old factories and massive industrial plants, studying how real machinery, conveyor systems, and steam-powered equipment were arranged. Those gritty textures and mechanical layouts directly inspired locations like the scare floor and the energy processing rooms. The most famous result of those research trips was the door vault, which mirrors the scale and movement of real warehouse systems. By grounding the monster world in real industrial design, everything from the lighting to the metal walkways felt believable, helping Monsters, Inc. feel like a lived-in place with its own rules, workers, and everyday routines.
Those numbers are pretty sweet. Are they? I hadn't even noticed.
Even with such a heavy industrial world, the film still found time to hide fun, subtle nods that only eagle eyes would catch. 4. Boo's real name is hidden in the movie. Boo may be one of Pixar's cutest characters. But a small detail reveals something most viewers never catch. In one of the crayon drawings she proudly shows to Sully, she signs her artwork with the name Mary. It's a subtle nod to her voice actress, Mary Gibbs, who was only a toddler during production. Because Gibbs was so young, the production team recorded her by following her around with a microphone and capturing natural babbling and laughter. That playful, unscripted energy carries into Boo's character, and the hidden Mary signature acts as a sweet little Easter egg, honoring the real child behind the voice. And while Boo's innocence added charm, the voice recording setup behind her lines was just as unconventional. 5. They recorded some voice actors together, including Mike and Sulley. Unlike most animated productions where actors record alone in sound booths, Monsters, Inc. took a more collaborative approach. Billy Crystal and John Goodman, the voices of Mike and Sulley, occasionally recorded their lines together in the same room. This let them bounce off each other naturally, landing jokes, reactions, and emotional beats with real-time chemistry. Their timing felt so authentic that Pixar kept many of their spontaneous moments in the final cut. The same approach was used for several of the villain interactions, where actors were paired during key scenes to heighten tension and authenticity. By letting performers play off each other instead of relying solely on edited reactions, the film captured a level of warmth, humor, and conflict that made the characters feel genuinely alive.
This could destroy the company.
The company? Who cares about the company? What about us?
That sense of realism becomes even more powerful when you notice some of the small background details in the film. 6. The door vault uses over 5.7 million doors, all animated. The iconic door vault, where monsters store the closet doors used to reach children's rooms, was one of Monsters, Inc.'s most ambitious sequences. Rather than using models, repeats, or shortcuts, the team painstakingly designed over 5.7 million unique doors, each with its own shape, color, and texture. Every door had to be tracked individually for lighting, shading, and movement, making the scene a massive technical challenge. The payoff was staggering. When the camera pans across the endless rows of doors, each one moves and reflects light differently, creating a dizzying sense of scale and realism. At the time, it was considered one of the most complex CGI sequences ever attempted, showcasing Pixar's groundbreaking ability to combine technical precision with imaginative world-building. But even with all that complexity, there were still fun Easter eggs and small creative choices hiding in plain sight. 7. The Monsters world is filled with inside jokes and Easter eggs. If you watch Monsters, Inc. closely, you'll notice countless tiny Easter eggs scattered throughout Monstropolis. From props and posters to signs on walls, the filmmakers included references to real-life artists, Pixar staff, and even other movies. These little touches add depth to the city, making it feel lived in and full of hidden stories waiting to be discovered. Some of the monsters themselves are named after actual crew members, a playful nod from the animators who spent years bringing the world to life. It's the kind of detail that rewards obsessive fans and insiders alike. Little moments that might go unnoticed by casual viewers, but make the world feel richer and more personal. And while most of the monsters got custom looks, some design shortcuts still made life easier for the animators. 8. Many monsters share the same tongue model. To help meet the film's tight production schedule, Pixar reused the same tongue design for many background monsters. If you watch carefully, you can spot subtle similarities in the way some tongues move or curl, a clever shortcut that saved time without compromising the animation process. Despite these repeated elements, every monster still feels unique. Differences in posture, facial expression, timing, and overall movement ensured that the background creatures blended naturally into Monstropolis while keeping the world bustling, lively, and full of personality.
You know, I am so romantic sometimes I think I should just marry myself.
Give me a break.
Meanwhile, while all eyes go to the monsters and their world, the human world got attention too. 9. Boo's room is packed with tiny, realistic details. When you first see Boo's bedroom, the attention to detail is incredible. Every cereal box on the table, doodle on the wall, and picture book was fully textured and carefully designed by the animators to make the space feel lived in. Pixar went the extra mile to make the human world believable. These background details don't just fill the room, they reward viewers who look closely, adding depth and charm to Boo's everyday environment. And with all these efforts, sometimes, the technology almost threatened to swallow the film whole. 10. Monsters, Inc. redefined what CGI animation could be in 2001. Thanks to tools like Fix-T, Monsters, Inc. achieved a level of realism that was unprecedented at the time. Hair, cloth, and fur all moved naturally, while complex crowd simulations and dynamic lighting made every scene feel alive. The animation went far beyond simple cartoonish movement. The result was a film that redefined what CGI could do, Audiences were treated to a world that felt tangible, immersive, and full of personality. Monsters, Inc. set a new standard for animated movies, inspiring future films to push the boundaries of technology and creativity even further. Outro, and that's it. 10 weird, surprising, and amazing facts behind Monsters, Inc. that revealed just how much love, science, and sheer ambition went into creating this monster-filled world. If you enjoyed this dive, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Tell me which animated classic you'd love us to explore next. And if you're in the mood for more nostalgia, for a movie that mixes heart, humor, and epic animation mastery, be sure to check out our breakdown of Toy Story 10 Weird Facts You Didn't Know next. Until then, remember, the next time you close your closet door, you might just be powering a monster's world.